Oh, hi. I never really know when this thing is recording because when I press record, I guess it has like a few seconds delay. So I'm always like, hi. And then it's not really working, but whatever. Grand Rising. It is, let's see, it's Monday, March the 25th, um, 12:04. This is, this is my third video for March. Um, I know I kind of made the other one, it was kind of short. So technically this is more like my second video, because it's kind of like my end of the month video. But I did make a video a couple weeks ago, and I described to you guys that I was giving myself a challenge of making the money to go to this class. I got really close, but they scheduled me on the day of the class, so I ended up going to work. And then I turned around and went to work that Monday. And I had a job interview that Wednesday, and everything went well. And then I think Thursday evening, I got a text message like, oh, we're not gonna work with you, or we're not gonna go ahead and work with you. And at first it was very like gut wrenching. Even though I read the text message when I was out, it was kind of gut wrenching and I was pissed for a little bit. But at some point I was kind of able to, scale back and be like, okay, so this is obviously for a deeper reason, so you can't be upset. You can only be too, damn, granted it's a nice opportunity, making a little bit more money with a different, kind of environment where you be learning different things. But maybe you have like, maybe I have, other stuff that I need to be focusing on. So that's kind of like how I'm just taking all of this. So because they mentioned my current job, I don't know, I should have read that text message very clearly, but I just kind of skimmed through it, and I kind of read it again, but it was just like daunting, so I didn't really want to read too much into it. But I didn't go back to my other job, just because I'm like, they said they spoke with you, and now all of a sudden they're not gonna, so I honestly, I assumed that, I was bad mouth, because I'm like, everything was going great until they called you guys. So what happened? So kind of been dealing with that, but like I said, I haven't really been very, first day it kind of, really fucking bothered me. But, eventually you, in my life, you like roll with the punches. There's no time to really like sit and, especially at this point, it's no time to sit and dwell on shit that's like going left, because it's going left for the right reasons. Like, it's ultimately I'm just being redirected to my right path. And sometimes we take opportunities, or we might think something is for us and it's not, and it's okay, to kind of have that understanding that, the high powers will always guide you to where you're supposed to be at. So on, I gave you, that timeline, and that, just to give you that spill. But actually, there have been quite a few things that happened to me this week that were very like, I don't even know the word for them. Everything has been so interchanging, and I don't even know a word. Like, I'm not joking. I don't even know a word. But okay, to Wednesday, after my interview, I had the chance to go to one of my favorite stores, Dancing Moon, and I love that store. But when I got there, one of the readers was there, and it's one of the readers that I've been kind of like wanting to work with for a while, you know, kind of get a reading from. So, I wasn't there for myself, but I ended up getting the reading done. And I mean, the stuff that I learned just about myself in general was very like grounding, in a sense of like, it's like you already know who you are in a sense. And it's like you don't have to continue to feel some type of way, because it just is what it is. Like, you're different. And that's okay, you know. She said a lot of things that I really needed to hear, and I found myself like tearing up and really just in this space of accepting and receiving the information that was being, you know, told to me. You know, I've kind of been going through some things since February, as far as like identifying my rightful path, because there are things that I want to do that all lead up to a greater picture. But there are things that I want to do that I'm not necessarily in a position to do, right? It's like I want to put my foot forward and, you know, continue to do all these things, but I have to make money at the same time. And if I'm not, you know, if what I'm doing isn't getting me money, right, then it's not beneficial, quote unquote. That's kind of the space that I'm at right now. Even though I don't think that way, I just know people around me will and do. So I'm in a weird space because I've always believed in holding down a job and making my own money. But right now, I feel like the universe is asking me to focus on this. And it's funny because a few years ago, I was asked to kind of like focus on myself and just do one thing. And I couldn't, you know, it was like, ooh, it was wrecking my brain. It was like, you know, you have so many other things that you want to do. And it was like, an opportunity came to me at that time. And it was something that I really loved to do, but I chose work over it. So I'm always in weird cross spaces because I have an understanding of certain elements. So whenever I find myself in these situations, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm always like really trying to seek out celestial guidance, because I understand that I'm not here alone. And, you know, humans, us, we might not have all the answers. And sometimes it might be better for you to seek a higher understanding power, right? Which was my whole ideology behind even getting a reading, because from how I grew up, that was not a thing. You don't go get psych readings. And though I never gave her like my palm, or I never touched anything and she never touched me, it's just something that you don't do. However, I'm in this, I'm understanding, certain that I had as a child may not resonate now. Those things were served me for the time being to get me through a period of time that I needed to get through, but it's not necessarily serving me at this point in my life. It's not getting me anywhere further. So just a lot of reflecting going on, a lot of thinking, a lot of manifesting, writing stuff down, getting stuff out, speaking stuff, talking to people, connecting dots. I know that sounds so like choppy, but that's exactly how my days have been every day. It's like just those things, it's something different. Another really cool thing I did, or two things. So yesterday, which was Sunday, the 24th, I was able to host my mom's radio station for her while she was away, and that went exceptionally well. I got to interview Carolina Big Boy Big Sin, and that was very dope. He got an album, Soul Man, coming out, or it is out. So we just, hit on that a little bit. We discussed like his career path in music and his journey, his overall journey in music. So it's really cool. It's on Facebook. I don't know how to get it to my page, so I think it's SOL. I don't know how to get it to my blog, maybe just by posting the link, but other than that, I think that's all I have. Excuse me. However, the interview was really good. The overall show was great. The topic of discussion was our children are our future, and I had some bullet points, but I kind of just let the guys, say what they wanted to say about it, because I wanted to gain some kind of insight of how other people think, because like I told the audience, I know how I think, and I'm kind of here to engage the conversation and see how stuff goes. And I was, everything about it was really cool. I got there early, and the guy, he showed me all the buttons to push and what to do and everything. So it was really, really cool. The show had a nice flow to it. People were laughing. Someone did call in, but I wasn't able to take their call on air. But it was dope. 2-hour show. Very unfiltered. It was cool, but it wasn't like raunchy or raw. It wasn't like disrespectful. It was very unfiltered, and it said a lot of truths, but I said a lot of truths as well. Like, it is our job as adults to raise the children, to help the children at any age, whether you have children or not. It is our duty to lead these children into a more secure adulthood, because that's what we have a lot of struggling adults now, because some of us weren't set up for success at a young age. So if we know that about ourselves, and we can take that into some kind of account and switch the narrative for the next generation, they'll be on. So definitely was happy about being on air and getting to share my spill and do a little something, and being able to share the mics with other people, and it was just totally cool. Another thing that I did yesterday, actually before all of that, I spent my entire day having a photo shoot, and it was awesome, to say the least. When I first got there, of course, it was nice, but I was a little nervous still. So I wasn't really able to get in my element. I had confidence in the overall ending of the photo shoot, but not at the beginning. So it's kind of funny because, like, if I post the pictures, you'll see like a transition in my face of more like confidence and light coming into it. And it's kind of interesting because, in one space I was this way, and I was trying to get into myself, and you can kind of see that through the photos. And once I get to outside, it's just like bam, she's here, and it's kind of cool to see. He showed me a few of the shots on the camera while we were working, and I'm just like, wow, like it's a big difference, and it was just very positive, and it was cool. And we went to North Hills, and I was able to take pictures on the rooftop and of a hotel, and like had a little bar lounge area, so you guys will see, and it's really, really cool. But just that experience within itself, it really helped me to understand myself in a small kind of way. And it was funny because right after, totally had a fucking burger and fries and a fucking soda, like nothing ever happened. Like I wasn't just taking pictures all day. Had a fucking burger, some real cool shit, and then I went to the show, and I really just enjoyed my day. It was kind of funny because, I asked one of my friends to come out, and she couldn't come, but she was able to send me an Uber. And then I needed some bud, and I hit one of my other friends up, and they came through and smoked with me. But then they were all like, once I decided that we were going to North Hills, they were kind of like, oh, I got an hour before I need to be back on this side of town, even though they told me they didn't have anything to do until 6, and it was like 2 or 3. I didn't understand, but everything went the way that it was supposed to go. And I'm a fond believer of that, of things going the way that they're supposed to go. Sometimes you can create a lot of friction yourself that way by trying to do things on your own. And I feel like that's when we come up unhappy, because we're doing things without higher power, without help, and it's just not working because it's not for us. It's what we want, but not what we need. And until our thinking is aligned, our heart and our head is aligned, then we'll always have that wayward thinking, and even still then you'll always be subjected to making a mistake or the wrong decision. And that's kind of what I love about life in itself. Is just like, it's weird. It's like getting up every day and being able to do the same shit over again, but in a different way, right? Because insanity is doing the same shit in the same way and expecting a different result. But I think when you're taking every day as is and making the most of each day, I think you can't lose that way. And that's definitely one of the things that I've started doing, is just taking days and time and life for what it is, and being happy and appreciative of the time here spent on earth, and being able to interact with people and love. And that's one of my greatest things here on earth, is love. It's like one of my greatest feelings. Like, I love love. Like, I mean, if I could love for the rest of my life, I will, and I am, and I choose to, and I that's what I'm here for. So it's just interesting, little specks of life can take you somewhere else, if your mind is really open to it. Because a lot of us are like, our eyes are open, but we may not be receiving what's around us, and that's cool because it happens. But it's definitely cool to kind of be in the moment and really receiving what's going on around you. So I'm really just appreciative of this whole entire week as a whole. Like, it was very like eye opening, because if that shit wouldn't have happened, I would have never reached out to try to schedule a photo shoot or to try to do this and that, because I didn't need to. So sometimes life gives you a weird ass little push in the right direction, and it's totally up to you if you take that first step. So I'm very appreciative. But honestly, I don't want to keep you guys very long. It's already like 21 minutes into the video, which I really think is cool, because I really didn't expect to do all this. I kind of just expected to like tell you guys and about my week and that be that. But be on the lookout for some really cool stuff, One thing I didn't do that I have to do now, of course, I gotta tell you, it's Kitty B World at WordPress.com. I'm gonna do that every single video. Every time you see my face, I'm gonna let you know what I'm on. It's kittybworld.wordpress.com. I think that's kind of it. I'm sending you guys some peace and blessings. I wish you guys a very productive and great week. You definitely are going to be seeing a video really soon, because it's already the 25th, and so a new month is coming, of course, which means another new video. And so I got some assessing to do for the rest of the month, which is why I'm kind of like, got some shit to do. But I really thank you guys for tuning in and for watching my videos. I really appreciate you. I love you guys. Peace.